everyone, I'm Patricia and that's Jax, and the two of us are board members of the Opticians Association of Massachusetts. We are also a part of the communication team, a very big part of the communication team. Two of us put together over last year our Opticians Association of Massachusetts newsletter, which we do every month, and we're very excited about it. And we will both be on a panel for leadership coming up. We really wanted you to be able to get to know us since you've been seeing our newsletter over the past year, and we wanted you to see the faces behind it. So here we are. Bye!
How long have you been in the industry? Did you always know you wanted to be an optician? And if not, what led you to become one?
So for me, I've basically been in the industry since 2016, so I'm coming up on 5 years now. I didn't know I always wanted to be one. I've been doing many things throughout my life, but one constant is that I have always worn glasses. Since always wearing glasses, I've been constantly in glasses stores my whole life. I recall a specific moment that did inspire me to make a big career change, and it was something that just clicked one day. I had been searching for a perfect pair of glasses, walked into a little boutique, and ended up buying 4 perfect new pairs, and I was so excited about frames being an accessory for fashion more than just a medical device that I needed to know more about it beyond the styling and the fitting. I found out opticianry was a thing and that it was a licensed thing at that, and I was really excited. So I started taking online courses, I became an apprentice, and then after that I was totally in love. I stopped working and went to Ben Franklin full-time to get my associate's degree in opticianry. I got licensed, and then the funny thing is I ended up completing my degree and my license and finding a position at the exact boutique that I purchased those career-inspiring perfect 4 pairs.
Full circle.
Full circle, absolutely. Something as simple as going on a shopping trip can really change your life. So how about you, Jax?
My story is similar, but I had no idea opticianry was even a thing. I started as an optician in 2010, so about 11 years ago, but I was bartending, and right before I became an optician, I was actually a store manager at Starbucks. I loved going and shopping for glasses, and I loved the experience, and the doctor there one day was just like, I'm hiring. I really think you love this career. I think that there's so much to learn, and I would teach you everything. And I was like, why not? Let's do it. And I had no idea how fun this career could actually be. So she was right. And I love it. 11 years later, right?
Wow, 11 years.
I know, right?
Amazing, Jax, amazing. We'd like to share what led us to become involved with our state association. We think it's important that you know why we're so passionate about this. So I'm going to let Jax go first.
So I actually didn't even know state associations were a thing until my coworker had me. She was like, hey, how do you get your CEs? And I was like, online, because that's all my other coworkers did. And she's like, no, you have to come to this conference. The first time it was kind of nervous and didn't really know. And then Debbie Bartlett was doing a class. And if anybody knows Debbie Bartlett, she can command a room and really connect with you. And the way that she talked about opticianry just made me realize that this job, so much love, right? Made me realize that this job that I went to every single day that I really liked could be something that I really loved and adored, and I could have a community of people that were passionate and surround myself with them, because that was something I was lacking at the time. There was a lot of opticians that were nearing the end of their career, and they were great, wonderful, smart opticians, but they were just ready to be out the door, and that energy can get to you.
Yeah.
So that one speech, I remember walking up to Divvy and I was like, I just have to tell you that you've relit my fire. I'm so pumped. And then, just hit the ground running after that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
What made you feel like you wanted to be involved with your state association?
Well, let me just touch on Debbie for one sec, because I too was somewhat inspired by her. I heard she was teaching business at Ben Franklin when I was applying to go there, and she was part of my inspiration to go there. I was so excited to meet Debbie. That aside, Becoming involved in my state association. When I was in school, I attended the OAA Leadership Conference, which is where I met Debbie. So I went to the OAA conference as a student leader, and I traveled with the OAM Executive Board and a few other board members from the OAM. I just thought it was great. I felt like I fit in really well. But honestly, I thought being a board member would be something that was a little bit too intimidating to do. I had attended a board meeting for another project that I was working on at the time, and I was like, well, it's not so scary, but I didn't really say I want to do this. And then Lisa Bork, the secretary who I had went to leadership with, had reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to be on the board. And I thought about it, and I was like, well, I was kind of a little nervous, but if Lisa thought that I was good enough to be on the board and help make decisions on opticianry, I was all into it. So I joined the board, and I love every minute of it now. I love contributing to the communication committee, and I love keeping our profession alive.
I feel like we always think that what we have to say maybe isn't as inspiring, as important as somebody else's, but it really is.
Yeah.
So and I feel like the OAM, and I'm sure other state associations do this as well, but they really want different viewpoints and they want you to get involved.
There's so many different aspects of the industry that you can practice in as well. And I mean, it takes salespeople and technical people and inspirational people like Jibby and Blair, you know?
Oh, Blair. Yeah. He's another fantastic.
Exactly.
So let's see, what's a fun fact that many people might not know about you?
Okay, so this is the silliest thing ever, but I consider myself currently going through my midlife crisis. So to indulge in that feeling, at the end of last year, I bought a sports car, if you will. And I like to bop around Boston now in my 2020 Mini Cooper in British racing green, of course, with white racing stripes. Vroom, vroom, but it is what it is.
I love that, though.
What about a fun fact about you? Maybe something I don't even know.
So a fun fact about me, I went to culinary school and I majored in French pastry.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't obviously work in that field anymore. I loved it, and my husband loves it. So it's like a hobby now that I can do pretty well.
Now I know why you brought those cookies and that really great drink to our first communications meeting, because it's part of you. I love it.
It's like how I share.
I love it. It's awesome. I'm surprised because you say you majored in pastry, correct?
Yeah.
And you're so into health and working out. It seems like such a contrast. I love it.
I feel like, yes, but I work out so that I can eat all of this wonderful food.
Right on, of course. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. What's our favorite way to spend time kind of outside of work? Like, do you have something you love doing besides pastry?
Yes, I have two dogs that I adore. Australian Shepherds, and they are my children. I'm sure anyone who has a pet of any sort feels that way.
Of course.
I just love being outside with them, and especially hiking, specifically somewhere that has like minimal to like no reception, so we can disconnect, which
I love it.
Yeah, so that's definitely what I love to do the most. What about you?
When I'm not at work at all, I usually spend time taking it easy with my dog as well, because why not take advantage of having a pet while you have the pet? I would love to take my pet hiking, but he is not a hiker, so we really just do city walks. I have, however, since the beginning of COVID, started taking up walking, and I do at least 1 or 2 5-mile walks a week.
Yeah, get out when you can't get out and see.
Yeah.
You have to find unique ways to connect, right?
Exactly. And I'll do hiking in the woods. I mean, not up the mountain, but urban hiking is my favorite. I mean, it's about the only thing you can do to connect with your friends right now, you know, since we have no bars and no out to eat right now, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's Zoom and walking. That's as good as it gets.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, for sure.
What do you love most about being an optician?
The best moment, my most favorite shining moment is after you've spent, say, an hour with someone in a styling session and they've decided to buy a few pairs of glasses and they're really excited. The moment they book their appointment to come in and pick them up and you put the glasses on their face and they are just thrilled. They are thrilled beyond belief, and you really know that even though your job was selling, you got them absolutely 100% their money's worth out of those pairs of glasses.
Yeah, you've made an impact on their life, right?
Exactly. The result of the sale is usually the biggest driver, just seeing somebody wearing this great new frame. So
yeah,
it makes me happy. What about you?
There's a lot that I love about being an optician. There's so many different facets of it, but I would say the part that brings me so much joy is when I work with a kid or a child that doesn't have glasses and maybe comes in like a little wild and rowdy. And that moment that they put on a pair of glasses for the first time because they really needed them, and watching them just completely change and just soak in the world around them, that to me has brought me to tears. And I don't know, that helps me realize that not only is the fashion part fun, and it is fun to make sure that you're selling premium products that work to people and making sure that you're doing all those things, but those are the moments that I'm just like, yes, this is great. I love this.
I love it. That is so nice. I don't get to work with a lot of kids, so I never really experienced that, but I hear it's one of the best parts of being an optician, putting on a patient's first pair of glasses. And it makes me wonder if the first time I put on glasses in second grade, if that optician had that reaction after I put the glasses on, it kind of always comes full circle,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, because it's just wild because you have no idea when you're a kid.
Yeah, exactly. I still remember my first pair of glasses. My gosh.
Yeah, they weren't as cool as they are now.
Translucent blue acetate frames, round with, I believe they had spring hinges because they were called Bionic. Bionic was very popular in the 70s.
I love it.
So how about, do you have a favorite quote, and why do you kind of go to that quote sometimes?
So I would have to go with Maya Angelou. She has a quote that says, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And for me, I am such a vibe person and connecting with people. And I do also feel like the mundane day-to-day stuff can get in our way and we can forget to connect sometimes. And so I try to come back to that quote as much as I can, just make sure that when I'm having a moment with someone or if I'm meeting somebody, that I'm really giving them an authentic moment of who I am and trying to connect with them, because it is true.
It is.
You remember how people make us feel.
It is very true. I love that quote as well. That is a great quote to go to. Mine, I go to this quote a lot because I find it slightly, I don't know if it's inspirational in different points of your life, but it's a great quote. So it's by Lao Tzu, and it is, "When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and when the student is truly ready, the teacher will disappear." And I feel like this makes me think a lot about opticianry. So for me, it sticks with me because kind of at different points in your life, there are places where you're the student, or every day in life, you are the learner. And whenever you need to learn something new, a mentor will always appear. It's just a wonderful thing. If you want to learn something, you will find someone to teach. And then I think there's a point in your mentorship when you realize that you can be somebody's mentor, so that at that point your mentor disappears and you become the teacher. So I always just love that quote. I use that quote all the time. I came across it in a college English course once, with the course very focused on leadership, and it's just stuck with me since then.
I love that quote because I think it's so true, because when we learn something, you want to share your knowledge with someone who doesn't know that. You don't even realize that you do become the teacher, but what we have to say is important.
You are now becoming the teacher. It's not a sad thing. It's a very celebratory thing that, you know, the teacher is gone because, well, I don't necessarily, you know, need all this guidance any longer, you know?
Yeah, I love that. I love it so much. This has been fun though. I'm so glad that we're taking this time to connect with everyone else, because I do feel like being the communications team, we are behind the scenes, and you put a lot of work in to try and make things look great. I hope you enjoyed the content. If not, send us something you want to hear about.
Or contribute to the newsletter. We are always looking for people to give us creative ideas, and you can email us at meettheoptician@gmail.com. We are looking to do an interview like this with an optician every month or two, and anyone who's interested, who wants to share anything about their journey in opticianry, it's something we want to share with people because it's nice to hear inspirational words from other colleagues. We wanted to show you who we were so you would know who's sending you that newsletter every month.
And also,
now you do.
If there's anyone who you think we should be interviewing because they are passionate or really amazing at what they do, send them our way. We just want to have people see familiar faces and connect, because I feel like we are so in need of connection right now.
Exactly. That's what we want to focus on with the newsletter this year, is kind of connecting, because we can't connect in person. So we want to have fun every month where we all get to know each other. And that's the part that we're missing without having our education conferences. So I think this is what we're doing to make up for that.
I love that. And that's a great way to look at it. Well, it was wonderful chatting with you, Patricia. I can't wait to do the next one.
I know, this is always fun. Thank you everyone for joining.
Have a good day.
Bye you guys. Bye Jax. Nice to talk to you.